All right, good morning all. We're gonna get into the more of the come bet versus place bet debate today, it looks like. So welcome to Coffee and Craps. I'm John, by the way. Streaming on both channels. This is John from the Pro Craps channel. We're live here on Casino Gaming TV. I think our second broadcast to the Casino Gaming TV channel, so pretty exciting stuff there. But if you're coming to us from that side, of course, my actual channel is Pro Craps on YouTube. I'll see you over there. And today we're gonna work into our continuing discussion about how to play the short stack. So the idea today is short stack play. And what we're gonna look at primarily is the use case where you've already won at or close to your goal, and you're playing with that sort of extra money, the short stack as it were, not wanting to dip back into your main bankrolls. That's gonna be our focus here when we come into Craps training time today. But before that, let's jump into some quick announcements here. And I think there's nothing terribly new today. Of course, I'm going to re-announce that the DiceCon trip to Las Vegas through the Color Up community is happening June 29th to the 21st. Again, it's going to be great. I'm going to be there, of course, a little bit out and about on both sides of that. It's going to be a great event. Jeremy, we're working through, I'm helping out with some of the logistics of this thing. And Jeremy's working through a lot of really cool ideas for things to do besides play craps. You can't play craps for 36 straight hours or 40, whatever that is, how many hours that is, 72 hours. So we're gonna do things like we're gonna tour the Raiders Stadium, we're gonna do the neon sign tour to the Mob Museum, just a lot of cool little events throughout, plus a couple of get-togethers. It's gonna be an amazing event. Very loosey-goosey. It's not like we're gonna make it rigid, but it's gonna be just fun. And of course, tons of gameplay. So that'll be really cool. Looking forward to actually playing other games with everybody. I mean, we talk craps all the time. Yeah, I want to throw the dice with everybody, but it's gonna be fun to sit there and have, somebody teach me how to play poker finally, because I don't know how to play poker. I know how to play poker, but not like at a casino poker. So I think it'd be kind of fun to sit here and play with somebody another game. It'll be fun. Anyway, that's that. As it says here too, we're live finally on the Casino Gaming channel, the Casino Gaming TV YouTube channel. If you're not there, get there. Right now, it's boring. It's just me. I'm streaming the morning shows to that channel and to Pro Craps. Starting next week, I'll be only streaming to that channel. So if you're a fan of the show and you're coming in all the time and used to like the morning routine with John here at Pro Craps, same show, just going to be streaming from a different source. That's all. And what I'll do is I'll take the good parts out and put them over here for us to remember forever here at the Pro Craps channel, and that channel will stay with all the lives. We'll just live there forever. So more things coming. That channel is going to be growing next week. Actually, this weekend, I think Jeff from Mid-Atlantic Craps is going to be broadcasting live his Craps chat, and just like me, he's going to simulcast it from Mid-Atlantic Craps channel and to our Casino Gaming TV channel. It's kind of becoming sort of a joint venture now. We have me and Jeff and some others going to be all streaming there. So that's going to become a hub pretty soon. And Jeff's going to start doing the dual streaming this weekend. And then next time he does it, we'll do it fully from that side. So that channel is going to start to grow and become a hub for live shows like this, whereas the recorded, more teachy kind of things will be on our regular channel. So that is that. Tell everybody you know about that channel. Let's get that thing up as quick as we can. I'd like to get that channel. I've been talking all this time about getting myself to 10,000 subscribers because I want to do this Crapsathon next year with that at that level, because then you get to do free donations. I think what should happen is the Crapsathon should happen from that channel. The Gaming TV channel is not just John. It's John and Jeff and Chris from Sideshow and Chris from Craps Couple and El Toro and some others are going to be on that channel with me. That should be the place where we do the Crapsathon from. The one hub for it. I think that makes the most sense, where it's more of a community thing and we're all kind of driving towards that common goal. So that's going to be, I'm going to start pushing the live traffic over that way if we can. Of course, my channel remains the same, just going to have no lives, just the curated sort of lecture stuff here. So that is that. Leslie, you're on CGTV. Great, good to have you over there. It's the same experience, right? It's no different. It's just that it's different banner, right? All good. Okay, so let's see. Let's jump in. I'm going to do my. I got my Stream Deck working here, so I'm going to work my. I'm going to look down here while I look at my thing. We're going to work on this a little bit. We're going to get back into this topic of profit lockers. So in previous show, we talked about profit locking from the place better side. Today, I'm going to talk about profit locking from the come better side. And the concept of profit locking is this. And as you recall, I always talk about this phased betting approach, where in phase one of your time at the table, you've got your whole bankroll available to you, and you're working towards some simple goal, okay? Whatever that is. Now, and I'll describe it like a place better. Let's say you're gonna go like 160 across for one shot. You take one hit at 35 bucks, you bring everything back down, and you go $30 or $18.06 and $18.08. Okay, that would be phase two to me. So the first phase is use all your bankroll to take one hit or two hits, whatever, and then come down to what you want to play. What you want to play in that case, for going from 160 across to 35 to 36 inside there on the 6 and 8, that would be this profit locking time. You've used your main strategy and the majority of your bankroll to fund something else, some other play. That's what we're talking about today and yesterday and moving forward here, is these profit locking strategies where I've already used my big bankroll to earn me enough money to play kind of the way I want to play, whatever that looks like to you. It could be just 44 inside, it could be 66 inside, it could be 64 across, it could be 96 across, whatever it is you want to play. Your initial bankroll and your initial play funds that. Today we're talking about that. What do you do there when your initial foray has already earned you enough money to play the secondary strategy? So I'm going to work a short stack. I'm going to assume that we've got some level of money. We bought it for 500, let's say, and we've earned 60. Again, picking a number out of a hat here, but you bought it for 500, you earned, let's say 65 bucks. What do you do with the 65 bucks? How can that 65 bucks turn into your session goal? And if I bought for 500, my session goal is probably 100, 20%. Can I turn the 65 into 100 or a little bit more and then keep playing? Again, you're trying to be quick to this phase two. Phase two is more safely getting you to goal. And if you have extra, you can jump into the next phase, and it's still probably in a short stack, but now you're trying to go for the gusto. And that's the idea of this phased betting. Phase one, keep your bankroll safe, get some money to play with. Phase two, take that money, make it your goal. Phase three, take the excess and go hammer time with the casino. That's what you want to do. So today is phase two. We're going to talk about doing that with come betting, okay? Now, I'm not going to make any assumptions about how you got to phase two. Okay, phase two might have just been, hell, it could have been 640 across, right? And taking a big old hit and coming all the way back and having 100 bucks to play with. That could have been your strategy. It doesn't matter what your initial strategy was. But here we are in phase two. And in phase two, what I want to see us doing is more of, how do I say this right? Calm betting. Phase two is 4 to 6 rolls, probably a more calm, regimented sort of, let's get ourselves march to goal is phase two to me. It's not hyper aggressive. Phase three can be hyper aggressive, but here in phase two, we're going to be marching towards our goal. And today I want to use come bets from a short stack and see how that works. Now, when you're using come bets, you've got to think about, and what we're going to find here at the table is that it's not that easy to use a short stack when you're come betting, because come bets require a little bit of bankroll behind them. So we're going to have to get creative come betting from a short stack. And I'll show you what I mean by that at the table. But let's review the way that come betting works. Okay, so come betting works this way. You're going to have again, let's take the pass and don't pass line out of it. A point's established. And you've got one or more units, whatever your unit size is, in the big come area. When it's in there, you're going to win on the 7 or 11. You're going to lose on a 2, 3, or 12. You're going to win 1-to-1. Okay? If a number other than one of those horn numbers rolls, or a 7, the bet travels to a box number. On the box number, that flat bet still pays 1-to-1. You can optionally put odds on it. We're going to work today at a 3, 4, 5 table. The majority of tables out there are 3, 4, 5 tables. I'm lucky in that here in Seattle, I've got 10x tables. There are some 10x tables still in Vegas, but they're being phased out, it seems like. There's a few off-strip casinos that have it. Most of them seem to be working through 3, 4, 5 odds, which is limiting for a come better. But at the same time, it's also respectful of your bankroll. You don't have to put out half of your paycheck to make a bet, which is always a good thing. So here we go. Let's go ahead and switch over to the table view. And I want to kind of demonstrate the way that come bets work. And again, I've got on screen for you here the basic kind of layout of a come bet, the same rules we just showed you, but this will help us kind of talk about the way these things work. So let's take this here. This is our short stack. And let's assume, for the sake of argument, that we had bought in for $500 and our rack, I'll actually move this over here. We bought in for, I'll use the field. We're probably not going to bet the field today. Our rack, we had bought in for 500. We had done some other strategy and we've won back. We've earned back our 500 because we had put money out, obviously, and earned some profits. And we've got right here, 25, 50, $65 in profit. Okay, that's what we're going to assume that we have. Again, I'm doing a generic number like that because a lot of people want to play 66 inside with their profit or 64 across with their profit. So if that's kind of our standing goal here, 44 inside might be a goal if you have a $10 table. But for the sake of this series of shows on short stacks, let's use $65 as kind of our starting point. It's a nice generic number. Now, if I was at 500 to buy in, my goal is likely $100, 20% or thereabouts. So what our job is going to be is to turn this $65 into at least 100, hopefully some more. And I want to do it in kind of a safe way. This is not the time to be aggressive. You've worked hard to make sure that your bankroll remained stable at what you bought in and have some extra to play with to make that happen. So the mindset here has to be, we're not going to dip back into this unless we lose all of this. And if you lose all of this, that's fine. You start over again at phase one, putting your whole bankroll to work to earn you back another shot at this. This is when we say you need like 10 shots in your bankroll to make it happen. This is like one of your shots worked and you've got some money to play with, and now we go, okay? I made a statement on a previous show about what you can do when you're in this situation. When you've got your short stack, what can you play? Yesterday we talked about, or previously we talked about place betting as an option. Today's come betting as an option. I made the statement that you couldn't ladder from here. And I think it was maybe misconstrued a little bit because what I meant to say was laddering can get you here. You can use your bankroll to ladder yourself to get to your initial kind of profit level. If you're gonna play with only a short stack like we're doing in this episode, you can't run a ladder with only $65. Again, you're taking the rule that you're not gonna touch this. This is like verboten here. We're not touching that. We're only gonna play with the short stack. So here's where I say, you can't run a ladder system with only this amount of money if you're limiting yourself to what your short stack is, which is kind of the ground rules I'm setting here. We're only gonna use our short stack to bet with. So with that said, let's quickly look at the way come bets work, and then I'll go ahead and jump in and we'll do some rolling and some theory crafting here. So first things first, I'll use 1 unit in a come. So when the point is established, it doesn't matter what it is, you can put a bet into the come box. And at this point, this bet wins on a 7 or an 11, which is great. That's actually awesome. You're a 2-to-1 favorite here because you lose on a 2, 3, or 12. 4 ways to lose, 8 ways to win. You're a 2-to-1 favorite, getting paid even money. That's pretty awesome. That's actually beyond awesome. It's great. Is great better than awesome? I don't know. Anyway, if person rolls one of these numbers though, the bet will be called travel. It'll go up to say the 6. They roll or here a 4 goes to the 4. Now this bet only gets paid when that number is rolled a second time. So it's rolled once to get you here. Now in here, you'll get paid again when this number is rolled, and that's your back. So it's come to the number, and then you can get paid on it when it rolls. Now, the flat bet here, obviously you're at a big disadvantage getting paid 1-to-1. That's not very good. So if you went from being at an enormous advantage here to being at a very big disadvantage here, because the 7's always going to take this bet, and you're at a huge underdog here. So what you can do to help with that, because you don't want to get paid 1-to-1 when you're the underdog, you can take odds on that. And on a 3, 4, 5 table, on the 4, the 10, you can take 3 times your flat bet in odds. Okay, that's why it's 3. On the 5 and 9, you can take up to 4 times your flat bet. And on the 6 and the 8, up to 5 times your flat bet in odds. That's the 3, 4, 5 rules that they have here. So on any bet, you can take odds and you basically say, odds on my come bet, please. And then they'll put them up and they'll stack them behind your bet like so. And that's how come betting works. If you like your number, where it goes to, you can take odds on it. You can take up to 3, 4, or 5 times odds. You're not required to. You can elect to take no odds or half odds or whatever you want to do out of your rack. You have full options here of what you want to do. So that's the question I've got for myself here. Looking at today, when we have a short stack, what can I do with a short stack? Right? If I've got 65 bucks, I could do one come bet. Let's pretend it goes to the 6. It's gotta be a $10 bet, $10 table. $10 goes to the 6. I have 65 bucks, which means 5 times 10 is 50. I can put 50 bucks in odds on that 6. One come bet with max odds is what I can do with a short stack. That's one play I can make, okay? This puts all my eggs in one basket. It's an amazing payout. This 50 is gonna pay 60. It's gonna be a nice win for us, okay? But you're limiting your spread. It's one number, okay? But the math would say, take a come bet, put the max odds on it, that's the best house edge. John would say, or some others would say, you know what, that's nice and all, but I'd like to get more targets. Maybe what you do is you take a come bet and see where it goes and just take single odds for a minute. Another come bet, let it go somewhere else, take single odds for a minute, and then take a third come bet and see where it goes. Maybe it goes to the 4, and now look at what you've got. You got the 4, the 6, and the 9, and you've got another still 30 bucks in your rack. What do you do with the 30 bucks? Well, maybe what you do is you go double odds to the 9, single odds to the 4, and double odds to the 6, and get some odds on all of them using up your entire short stack. You could decide, well, let's not do odds on the 4, let's go stack up on the 6 instead, okay? You can move your odds around as you please, and you gotta use your short stack the best you can in this weird situation. You may say, let's just take 2 come bets, and we'll do, I don't know, 30 bucks in odds on the 6, and 20 on the 9, and keep a little bit of just to look at money. But you can do 2 with higher odds, 1 with all the odds, 3 with half odds or smaller. Again, making use of a short stack as a come better from a math standpoint can be a little limiting because you're feeling like you're not taking advantage of your house edge advantage on those free odds that you're getting paid on. So as a come better in a short stack situation, you got some decisions to make. And again, the math may drive you to one bet with max. The player, the gambler in me wants to have more targets to hit. Either way, if the 7 rolls, you're gonna get burned for all of it. I'd rather have a couple of shots at it here and move. So with that said, let's switch out here to the longer view of the table. And I'm gonna roll this out a little bit. We're gonna play with this short stack here. And again, what I'm gonna do is work and we're gonna work just this. Okay, I'm not gonna work in here. If we happen to lose all of this, which could happen, if we happen to lose all of it, we're just gonna reset. We're gonna say, okay, I'll explain it to you. We're gonna go back to here, get ourselves reset, and run this a second time. We're gonna keep running the short stack until we find the rhythm that we like to play in. So that's gonna be our plan here. Turn the puck off, and let's start rolling it out and seeing how this plays. We're gonna bypass the come out roll, and I'm gonna just do come bets. And I'm gonna start this out by doing one come bet with all the odds on it so you can see that rhythm and what that feels like. And then we'll switch out and try it again with 2 and then with 3, just to get a feel for it. So we're gonna be on the 6 here for the point. We'll do one $10 come bet. And again, 7 or 11 wins in here. 2, 3, or 12 loses in there. Come bet moves into the 6. The puck will be off because that was our point. Now we have a choice to make, right? We're gonna go with max odds. And I'm gonna take, let's see. This is 50 bucks, by the way. That's 2 stacks of 5 reds. I'm gonna stack them all on here, like so. They would probably take this and do this for you, which we can do. It doesn't really matter. We're gonna need a lot of red chips today, so I'm just gonna do it visually with the red chips, but that's actually a stack of green. Here we go, coming out. Now, for me, odds are working. I know that I'm probably nuts for saying that, but the way that the come bets work, when the puck is off, you can take your odds off. They'll actually be not working. You can only lose the flat bet on the 7. I'm gonna let them work. We had this conversation a few episodes back where we talked about, do you work on the come bet or on the come out roll or not? I do. If I'm able to do it, I'll work the come out. Here, I'm in a situation where I'm playing with profits, If we get burned, so be it. If I'm down on my rack, I maybe don't do that. But here we're doing okay. So we're gonna go ahead and play with profit and roll it out. Let's get something other than a 7. And of course, as I say that, we roll the 7 and lose the whole thing. So that did not work. That was an aggressive move that did not pay off. Okay, what we're gonna do, reset the board, take a break, pretend that you put this money back at risk, you did your work, and you earned 65 bucks. Okay, we're gonna keep going from that standpoint. When I reset my rack, what I'm saying is, for the purposes of what we're talking about today, which is only short stack play, let's assume that you went back to work, got some more action in, and won 65 bucks again. So time number 1, we lost our butt. That'll happen. Here we go. Let's come out to a new number. Again, resetting the short stack and trying it all a second time. 628. Into the come for 10 bucks. Same as last time, right? We hit the point right away. So it goes to the 8. I'm going to drop 50 bucks on it. Puck will be off. I'm going to come out again. 628 on the come out. So last time we got burned. This time it worked. Now I want you to watch my rack. So what's going to happen here is this. The way the come bets get paid, it's going to come down. The flat bet gets paid 1-to-1. The 50 bucks that we have on the back gets paid true odds. So it's 6-to-5 back here. So that's 50 bucks. It's going to get paid 60. So 50, 60 bucks. Now, what I want you to do is reevaluate your rack. If you have a win like this, we reevaluate our rack. And what we know for a fact is that we started out with 50, 60, 5. That was our starting bankroll. Here's what we've earned. We've earned 50, 70 bucks in that run. We got paid 10 for the flat and 60 for the backside. Now, what do I do in this situation? I'm gonna take half of that, or a little more than half actually, take the 50 bucks and rack it up. 50 bucks towards my final profit goal. I'm working towards final profit. If I really wanted to, I could take 15 out of there, and this is also 50, and say, there's my full profit. There's my profit for the day, and I've got whatever this is to work with. We can look at it that way too. You can take half of it and say, well, I've earned half my goal, and I'm gonna play with a bigger short stack, 55 plus 35, that's great. Or I can lock up and say, I'm locking it up. That right there is my $100 goal for the day, and I'm done. My new short stack is this. Let's do that. Let's actually lock up a profit, and we'll play with a tiny stack. Now here you're really limited, right? I've got 35 bucks. We'll come out. I'm gonna play this with 2 come bets at smaller sizes. I wanna increase my spread when I had the smaller bankroll here. We'll go to 6. And again, my bankroll is only gonna be this. I'm gonna come out with 1. Look at it, every time so far. We've gone right to the number here. Puck will be off. Now I have a choice. I have 25 bucks, which I can put all as odds on the 6, or which is what I'm gonna do, is leave that flat for the moment, come back out with a second number. I'm gonna increase my spread here from a width standpoint. There's a 7, so ended up being a good choice. We lose this. New point. 8 hard. 2 in the come. Oy, craps. All right, we're gonna have 15 bucks. I'm just gonna put the whole thing in. Actually, we'll put the whole thing in. It's fine. We'll just work it as a flat bet. And another craps number. So we lose it all. We lost our entire second short stack, but because we made the call to lock ourselves up, we're in good shape. It ended up being okay. It didn't hurt us that bad. We took a crack at it here with that second one, but we had locked up ahead of time. All right, let's reset. There's 50, 65. I'll put this back in the house. And once again, we're at stable bankroll. This is our phase 2 money. We're gonna work the short stack from this part only here. 538, new point. $10 in the come. And again, this time I'm gonna try and get 2 numbers with some odds on them. And again, boy, we're having this like get a point, hit a point kind of thing. I'm gonna come out here with double odds on it. You'll see why. Double odds on the 8. Working. New point's going to be a 10. $10 come bet. Again, we got a second bet going here, and then we'll look at our odds here as we go. Again, point, back to back, and we'll go here with double odds on that. So we're going to take two numbers, and I'll take this last nickel and go to the 8. So the 8 has $25 in odds on it. The 10 has 20 in odds. Everything's working for the come out. I got two targets now, neither of which has full odds, but I've got two targets, and that was my goal there. Instead of stacking up on one number, we're going to use two numbers and spread them out, okay? We end up rolling a 10, which is fantastic. What happens here on the 10, this comeback comes down. The flat bet gets paid 1-to-1. My $20 on the back is going to get paid 2-to-1, true odds. Bring all that back to the rack. Leave one in the come. Now I'm going to come out and try and get two numbers. I've got enough in here that I can get two more numbers going and make this an actual molly. Let's see how it works out. 4-3-7. So we lose the 8. We're going to lose the odds on the 8. The flat bet on the 8 we also lose, but we also get paid back in the come. Back to the rack we go. Let's evaluate where we are, okay? In the rack, I'm at 50, or 25 rather, 50, and then I've got another 25 plus 10. If I take this 50 plus 10, that's 60, it's about where I started with, and take this quarter, I'm gonna rack a little bit. I'm gonna ensure, sorry, there's the 5. I'm gonna rack that 25 bucks we made, okay? Again, towards my goal, I've earned a quarter, same short stack I had before. I left this at 65 bucks. Let's get a point. Again, I'm gonna work that short stack as hard as I can to earn that profit. It's gonna feel like a grind, but that's okay. To me, phase 2 is kind of a grind. I'm working hard to earn my goal here. Okay, there's a 4-2-6. This goes to the 6. Again, I'll take double odds on it for the time being. Let's see what our next comeback goes to. Again, working on getting two targets here. 4-2-6. That was a 6 that rolled. I'm sorry. My stick rolled. That is a 6. So what happens here? I'll demonstrate it once, and you're gonna basically get off and on for your winnings. But the way it works is this is gonna come down. We'll get paid 1-to-1 on the flat, and our 4 quarters will get paid 24 bucks, 6-to-5. This bet will move into the 6. We'll take the old odds and put them right back on. So what ends up happening is you end up coming down. There's your flat bet win, there's your odds win, and the next come bet is already sitting there. So that's a pretty good little win right there. I'll move the whites back here because they just get in the way, okay? So we're back on the 6 with a new bet in the come. Good win, we like when that happens. 6-5 yo, that's great, love that. Right, we'll take a nice little easy win there in the come, which is what you can do here too, by the way. And what I would probably do in this situation, because I'm short stacking it here, I'll put that money right over here. We'll go ahead and get $30 in odds now. Just stack it right up on the thing and grow this odds bet from those winnings. It's a good way to use your winnings for good in the process of winning. So that's just a way to get some extra action. It goes to the 4. Our second comeback goes to the 4. We'll take double odds on the 4. And I've got some money left here in the short stack that I can use to get either a third comeback if I want to, or just have it there as buffer. This is a bummer. We get a 7. And as you know, I'm working everything, so that all goes away. Snake eyes, nothing on the come out. 1, 2, 3 on the come out. Getting a lot of horn numbers here. There's a 5, 4, 9. New point's gonna be 9. And again, my short stack is really short now, right? I gotta come out here with this, and I only got one shot left at it, which is a bummer. It goes to the 4. Now my choice here is this. I can take these and add to the 4, or I can grab another target. I'm gonna grab a second target here and try and work my way out of this mess that we're in. 6, 3, 9. Puck is off. I will go to the 9 with odds. I can only go single odds on it. And that's what we'll do. Single odds on the 9. I could go 1 unit in odds on the 4, I suppose. It's not the best use of a nickel, but we'll see. Let's beat that 7 here on this come out roll. Snake eyes. There's a 5. New point will be 5. Again, we don't care about the point really in this system. We're just going to roll through. Oh, damn. 7. All right, well, that's it. Short stack attempt number 2, failure. Okay, we got a quarter towards our goal. Now what I would do in the casino here is say, well, we didn't quite make, the short stack failed me here. I made a quarter towards my goal. I'm gonna have to dig back in here, play my initial strategy to get back to 65 bucks. And we'll do it one more time. There's our new short stack. Let's assume that we did that. We played well. We earned our money. We're gonna try again with a new short stack play here on the 4. Coming out. And again, I'm gonna try and get 2 come bets to pay if we can. We're having a tough time getting 2 of them to pay off. Today's rhythm is not come bet friendly at all. We're not getting the repeaters that we need. The come out roll is killing me today. So my strategy of working the come out today, not working so well. Second come bet coming out. Oh, that's good. It goes to the 9. That's finally a repeater. So again, off and on for your winnings here. So off and on for on the flat 2, 1, 2, 3 units for 2 on the back. This comes back to the rack. So we did make finally a repeater. Oh yeah, it's been a rough go there. Here we go. Yo 11. And again, take that. We can add this to our odds. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna put this in the rack this time. When this bet goes, I've got extra money now to stack up on something if I'd like. Oh, good, it goes to the 6, 4, 2, 6. Again, here I'm gonna go with $25 in odds on the 6, nice round number, because I've got money in. Let's come back out for a third one. We have enough money here to do a full 3-point molly, we'll do it. 5, 4, 9, good. Again, 10 for the flat, 30 for your $20 in odds, back to the rack, and we're off and on. Good rhythm here. Ah, that's a bummer. We lose the come bet on a craps number. Here we go. 6, 1, 7. So we'll get paid here in the come. We'll lose all of this, which is a bummer, right? The come betting with odds, that'll happen. And that's the big downside of playing huge odds, that you get burned a lot of times with big stacks out there. But let's see where we ended up. Did we make any money here? There's 25, 50. There's our 65 bucks. We earned $15 through that whole play. We had good money out there. Still had a little bit of a profit. Let's lock that profit up. Work our way towards the 100, okay? Coming out to a 6. Same plan as last time. Let's try and get 3 targets if we can get it. That goes to the 4. If I'm doing the 3-point Johnny system, I don't odds the 4. Again, I'm trying for more targets here, so let's do that. Let's get more targets if we can. That goes to the 10. One more come bet. Let's get 3 set with the short stack. What can we do here? There's a 6, 5, 1, 6. Puck is off. I will do 5 times odds on the 6. I've got 2 units left. I'm not going to put them as odds on the 4 and 10. It doesn't, well, I mean, I might as well. When I'm down this low, we may as well do it. Mathematically, it's not the greatest play in the world, but we'll see, right? 3, 2, 5 on the come out. We survived the come out 7 that time, which is awesome. 6, 2, 8. We're not on the 8. But we have 3 hot targets here. Let's go. Let's go, shooter. There we are. 6, 4, 10. Oh, that rolled. That was a 6, 4, 10. Hopefully you saw that on the wall there. $10 in the flat. $10 in our odds. Back into the come we go. And we're working our way through here. There's a hard 8. Not on it. That come bet will travel, and we can take our last 25 bucks and stack it. Now we're all in. Okay, we're all in. Just avoid big red here. There's a 5, which is the point. Does not matter. Again, I'm working my odds here. Working my odds, because I do. Back on the 5. Here we go. 6, 3, 9. We're not on the 9. We have 2 good numbers there. The 6 and the 8 should be rolling here for us, right? There's a hard 8. Yay. Okay, the hard 8 is going to come down. We get paid 10 for the flat. I have 25 up there. That's going to pay 30. I'm going to bring all that back to the rack and get a new bet working for us. Let's get that 6 to hit. Well, it goes back to the 8. That's okay. It goes back to the 8. We'll put, again, the quarter back there. Our same plan is going to be in place. I'm not going to go all in here because I'm working my way towards the goal of profit here, right? There's a 6, 4, 10. Does not matter. Aces. And an 8. That's fantastic. Okay, the 8's going to pay. We're in a good come betting rhythm right now. 10 for the flat, 30 for the odds. Okay, we'll leave the come bet in there. We'll rack this all up. Now, if you're keeping score at home, we're at goal. Okay, there's going to be 25. There's 50, and here's 50. Okay, so we have achieved our goal. This is our win goal. We're at $100. This is our $100 win goal off the 500. Our new short stack has at least 20 bucks in it. Now we're working on our short stack to go big. Now we're trying to get money out of this table here, an extra profit. Okay, we lose this come bet on the 1, 2, 3, shocker. There's the 6. Oh, I should have been in the come. I'm sorry, that was a mistake. I'm not going to put it out there, but I should have been there working my third bet. We blew getting to the 6. But the 6 is going to pay 10 for the flat and 30 for the odds, okay? And all comes back to the rack. So that's unfortunate that we missed out on one there. We should have a comeback at the 6. Too bad. 6, 3, 9. Moves to the 9. We'll put 20 in odds on the 9. Again, I'm just doing double odds there. We're going to play this out to resolution, okay? So there's, again, an off and on situation. So we're going to get paid 10 flat and 30 on the odds. Off and on. Bet stays, new comebacks coming. And again, boy, we're hitting a lot of horn numbers while we're in the come. It's unfortunate. Coming through here. 5, 3, 8. Okay, 5, 3, 8. And moves to the 8. We're going to put a quarter on that. Now I've got 3 come bet set. I'm actually going to go ahead and go full odds there, full single odds on the 4. And if you look at our rack where we are right now, you could say we can rack some of this back here and start locking up profit. I'm not going to go any deeper into my short stack than that right now. I'm going to let these bets resolve out. Bummer. 5, 1, 6. I was hoping that was going to be an 8 for us. There it is. Square pair, hard 8. Again. 10 flat, 30 in odds. We're in a really good rhythm right now. I'm loving this. And this comes down because we didn't have a bet coming through. Let that work through. 5, 1, 6. We'll go quarter again. And I'm not going max odds. I don't have enough in the short stack to support max odds on every single bet. I realize that mathematically that's probably what you should be doing, but with a short stack like this, you just don't have the horsepower in there to get it done. There's the 7 and we lose what was out there active. And actively we had 75, 80 bucks out there, 85 bucks out there working. In our rack now though, we've got 75, 85, 95 bucks, which is awesome. What I would do in this situation is put 50 in the hole and start playing with a new short stack of half the size. So as I have hit goal, every session, I'll take half of my winnings and rack it, half my winnings, and I'm playing with it. I'm gonna keep growing this thing by halves every time. I'm gonna half myself like logarithmically the whole time through here and play it that way. So that's how I roll a short stack. And again, this bankroll management piece is the same if it's come betting or if it's place betting. You're gonna take half of your winnings each time and build and build and build from your profit throughout that way. That way you're always playing with a shorter stack, but you got profit building the whole time. I think that's an important thing to take away here. So with that said, that's an example of come betting. We did one huge hit in the beginning, it worked. It also got beat once. We did 2 hits with partial odds. We won once and lost a couple times. We did 3 come bets this last time through and got a really strong roll from our shooter. And that 3-point Molly rolled through, I think, 3 or 4 hits and made us pretty good money. If you were to walk away from here, you'd walk away with almost 40% in profit. That's a pretty good day's work, 40% profit, starting with 65 bucks, okay? And again, working the short stack, not dipping back into here. That's the message of the day. Phase 2 is working the short stack. So with that said, let's go. All right, back to the screen we go. Hope that was enjoyable for you. I'm gonna go ahead and just do a quick search here for the letter Q and see if there's any questions that we said in here. So Skill and Luck says, I thought you said we can't go back to the record bankroll. You can't. And maybe I misspoke when I said that. When you're, so let's take this, let me go back to the table here. I'll just kind of zoom into it. Let's say you're in the situation where you've got your starting bankroll was 500 and you've done some strategy that has earned you the short stack. You've earned some money. Let's say you've earned, hold on, let me get my chips back right here. Sorry for the mess. You've earned 50 bucks or whatever the number, you've earned some stack of money. That stack of money in phase 2, its job is only one thing, which is to get you to phase 3, which is earn your goal. If you burn this whole short stack, like we did, we burned the whole thing. The one time that short stack just completely lost, okay, well now you're back to your starting bankroll. It's like you just bought into the table anew. Now you start over with your starting bankroll, work your initial strategy to get you back to here again, and then you start playing from the short stack. So my phase 1 approach skill is to get to the short stack. Phase 2 in the short stack is to turn the short stack into profit. And that's sort of that's my mindset going into it. Hope that makes sense there. So yes, Kevin, I'm gonna do the TB12 strategy this week for sure. I saw your question there. TB12, I might actually do, TB12 is a better phase 3 strategy. It's not a really good, safe strategy for phase 2 like I like to do. But TB12 to me is a phase 3 home run kind of strategy. I'll probably roll that out next week. It's one of my favorite ways to play, for sure. Jay says, do not bypass qualified shooters. The pass line is a core. You're right about that. Now let's talk about this, Jay, because I love this comment and I think this is a great thing for us to go into. Where's my table? There we go. Okay, let's talk about what you just said. If you've got three, I won't do odds just because of chips, right? If I have 3 come bets, right? And let's say the shooter was on the 5, they hit their point, okay? Now we're coming out. And what you should be doing technically is coming back to the pass line. The pass line is also a come bet. They're all the same thing. If you're doing a 3-point molly, you could have said, well, I'll have 2 bets out there plus my pass line. Okay, shooters hitting their numbers, they hit it, great, you get paid back here, and that's awesome. What I like to do is what I had going there, and the reason why I bypass the pass line, I know it's part of the strategy, is this. I like to, in the roll, have 3 active shooters out here that I can kind of, oh, that one gets paid, comes down, gets paid, new comeback goes to the 10, and that one gets paid, and I like to have 3 numbers working all the time out here. On a good inside streak like we had, when you get all the numbers hit, over and over again, you're kind of like tilling the field, so to speak. You're getting, this comes down, that comes down, you have 3 things to work, whereas the pass line to me feels static in a long roll. Like I've only got 2 numbers working out there, and I'm missing out on shots. I feel like this is more nimble. It's probably not. Mathematically, that's probably the wrong thing. But to me, I like having that be nimble out there and having 3 numbers in process working for me at all times. That's why I do that. I know it's wrong, right? All the math guys will tell me that I'm an idiot and that's wrong. For me, from a feel standpoint, I like that. You saw that the roll we had where I hit 2 or 3 inside numbers and came back out with comebacks again. That worked out really well for me. In that series, it worked out well. And it feels to me like having 3 targets is what I want. And I don't count the pass line as a target during the roll. And that's just, again, it's a mental block for me. So what else do we have? Eddie wants to know, come bet on every roll. If I'm playing a molly system, like we did here, to me it's bankroll driven, okay? I like having 3 bets in action if I can get it. I prefer to have 3, whether it's pass line plus 2 come bets or 3 come bets. If I've got 2 in action, I'll play a 3rd. That's the way I do it. I just like to have 3. It seems like a solid good target. Let's see. Biff says, I played the 3-point molly system in Hamstown, Las Vegas. 7 always hit just after the 3rd point made. You know what? It's rhythm, right? I talked about this the other day when we had our place bet conversation. And honestly, to me, the difference between come bets and place bets, okay? I know there's a house edge difference and there's a math difference. To me, and again, at our level, when you're playing at the $10, $20 level, at like this, even at the high levels, if you're playing these at $100 or $500 chips, you're talking about payment differences in the wins of $50, $60. It's not like it's a big difference in dollars and cents. It really comes down to rhythm. And the reason why come bets have a lower house edge, because the rhythm that they work in is that come out phase where they have that huge advantage, then the travel phase plus the odds. The rhythm of a come bet where it can lose or win here on its way out, that really does increase your win percentage. If you get travel, 7, that happens. And we made this strategy called the Headless Horseman, which is a don't pass plus 3 come bets. And the biggest hole in that strategy is exactly that. Three bets get set, person hits their point, person 7's out, you never get paid. That's a rhythm thing. It's not an indictment of the strategy of playing come bets. It's an indictment of that shooter's rhythm didn't match up with yours. And a lot of times, wavelengths just they crisscross, and that'll happen. So when you crisscross wavelengths, that can be a factor, and it's not the strategy's fault that it happens. It's just the way the dice happen to roll that day. Think of it this way: if you had place bet across, and you had 3 hits, the shooter rolled the 5, the 6, and the 9, and a 7 out, and you had pressed up those bets and never collected, you'd have lost all of it. Right? If you had same betted, you would have brought back some money, but not all of your money. 7 on roll 4 sucks, no matter what strategy you're playing. That's a bit, yeah, on point. Never cross streams. Never, ever cross the streams. All right, so let's see. Yeah, you're right. You're saying, Jay, if I rely on the pass line, 2-hit, 3-hit, flat playing, yeah, you're right. I mean, a pass line plus 2 is the same as 3 come bets. There's no difference there in that rhythm. And you are missing out on the come out 7. And I got burned today by the come out 7. You can indict me for that too, right? I blew 2 shooters, 2 of our sets today. I blew them because I had the odds working on the come out. But I feel like if I've got money on the table, the dice don't know it's a come out roll. The dice are just rolling, right? So when you have money out there like that, don't waste a roll is how I feel about that. And that's why I did it. But again, you're probably right, Jay. If I would have worked the pass line with the come bets, you're probably in that same rhythm. It just felt today like, I don't know. I like having 3 active bets. I know that I've had this discussion before with people. I know it's not a popular opinion that I play that way, but for me, I like having multiple targets. I don't know. I'm weird that way, I guess, and I just like to play it. So, trying to think of what else I want to say. We're come bets versus place bets. From a rhythm standpoint, I think that answers somebody else's question. It's a rhythm thing. I think also, come betting versus place bet, again, financially, in the hour and a half that you're at a table, you're not going to notice the house edge. You're just not. You're going to experience it in teeny tiny dribs and drabs. I look at the difference between the two, honestly, as like a horse race. Like if you go to a horse race and the money play is, the house edge way to play is to pick whatever they tell, whatever the racing form says, the favorites or whatever. Or you can walk down to the paddock and pick your own horses. Or you can play a wheel. You can just say, give me a wheel at the window, and they'll give you 3 random horses. Come betting feels like you're getting 3 random horses. Like you're putting out your bet, and the computer's going to tell you where your bet goes and if you win or not. You have no say in the matter. Whereas the place better is walking down to the horse barn and looking at the horses and looking into their eyes and saying, oh, I think you're going to run fast today, and placing this at the 4. That's a place better. Place better is working on like, I think this is going to happen, and I know more than the table does, and they're going to do their thing. That's the mentality difference. Do I want the computer to pick for me, or do I want to pick based on what I think? Most of the time we think wrong, which is why place bettors get their asses kicked, because we're guessing wrong, right? You're thinking that you know more than you do. So beware of that, right? That's the difference. The mentality difference is I want to pick versus you pick for me. And the you pick for me, generally speaking, has a lower house edge. The I pick for myself, way higher win potential, but also way bigger loss potential because you're making bad choices. Hope that makes sense. Yeah, Jay, I'm going back here. No odds working. I do like to work them. And again, I know I'm nuts, right? I feel like If it's out there, I've lost, like you saw today, right? I got my butt kicked on the come out sevens. How many other times though have you turned your odds off on a come bet and had the number re-roll and you're getting just paid the flat? And that's also soul crushing. Like losing that whole thing sucks, but winning only the flat bet also sucks. So you got to kind of weigh it out there. That's it. What else you want to talk about? We've got 4 minutes left before the show ends today. So if you want to talk about other things, we're good. Hopefully you enjoyed the show today. I think this is a good topic. I really think that playing short stack plays good. I was talking to one of my friends at Color Up last night and made the point of I'm going to practice short stack all the time. I'm going to always work short stack when I'm in my own practice sessions because I feel like when I go up to the table, my practice table, and I bring $1,000 and I pretend it's a buy-in and I play with $1,000, I tend to play a little bit more aggressively is the wrong word, but more devil may care, I guess, right? Because I've got the bigger bankroll. When I'm working short stack play only, I tend to be way more focused like I was today. Just like I'm doing this, I'm going to be mindful of where I'm at. If I treat my big stack like it's a short stack after getting into that mindset, I think that's going to help me mentally at the tables. And I'm going to work that way. I think that's just a mindset thing for me too, is working the short stack is a big deal. So hopefully that all makes some sense and I'm not just rambling to you. So thanks all. How many we got today? We have a pretty big crowd, 43 people. That's pretty good. 43 people at the end, which is good. Again, I'm working towards moving us from this channel, from the ProCraps channel to the main CGTV channel. Working on some intros, working on some other stuff. I've got some plans here to over the weekend to get things done, but I got a big thing at work. My work is pretty busy. Plus, I'm also recording a series of videos for LinkedIn Learning, lynda.com, which is going to take me the rest of the week and the weekend. So my time is tight right now, but we'll get some other stuff done for the new channel here coming up. So that is I'm doing a crap school for my sister-in-law tomorrow night. So tomorrow night we're going to do, Char's going to come down here and play tomorrow night. It'll be a cocktails and craps, probably at 5 o'clock Pacific time, maybe 5:30 Pacific time. We'll go for probably 2 hours. I'm going to teach her basically, I'll let you in on a secret. She knows nothing about craps, like nada about craps. So we're gonna show her basically, like you always show somebody, pass line, don't pass line, the basics tomorrow night from a rhythm standpoint. And my goal, and I'll tell you now, my goal with her is to use the pass line only for a little while. Yeah, not the greatest play to just play one bet, but I want her to feel the game and know like, okay, when the puck is off, this is what's we're looking to see. When the puck is on, this is what the shooter's trying to do, and just kind of get a feel for how the game flows and what the goals of the game are. And then as we progress in the game, we'll start adding features. I'll add odds. I'll add a come bet. I might add a place bet at some point. I might show her how to do a C&E bet to protect the come or her pass line. We'll ease into it a little bit. And I'm hoping that between tomorrow night for an hour and a half or so and Friday for an hour and a half or so, we'll get her to where she knows the table and can make a couple of decisions on her own. And we may even have her playing like the Iron Cross and understanding what it is, and playing a 3-point Molly and understanding what that is. And I want to give her those two core options as a takeaway for a beginner. I think is really good. So that's my goal, is have her like be able to play them but understand what's going on, so that when we do things like a regression system or these other more complicated things, she'll have a basis to compare it to. And I think that's my goal, was to get her a basis of comparison. So we'll see tomorrow night how that's going to work. So awesome. Skills asking one more question. Do you feel a good short stack system of one hit can't? You know what? Maybe. A short stack one hit can't miss could work. The short stack is short though, right? So if you've got $66 in your short stack and you go 66 inside, one hit is only 21 bucks. You're gonna have to do one hit and pull down multiple times to get it. The one hit can't miss with a short stack is hard only because the amounts are so small. If your short stack, if you bought in for 5,000 and your short stack is 600 and not 60, different story. Now you can do 110 across and really build. The short stack play changes a lot, I think, with the size of your stack, where the size of the units in your stack. I was talking to Waylon about this yesterday. Like the short stack at 60 bucks, you can't ladder with that. If you're $5,000 and your short stack is 600, you can ladder with quarters, and you have plenty of money to do that and do a new ladder, but at a smaller denomination. That totally works. But I think it's the numbers in your short stack that matter, Skill, as far as I'm concerned. Let's see. All right, here we go. You're right, Michael. The place bet is the easiest to understand. The thing about the place bet, what she has to understand is the goal of the game, right? She has to understand that the puck is off, the shooter's trying to establish a number and then roll the number again. That concept, believe it or not, is hard for somebody coming out of the gate to understand what the point of the game is versus targeting things directly out of the gate. I want her to watch the game happen. Because what's going to happen is she's going to ask me things like, oh, what are all those bets for? I say, well, you can decide to bet the 8, and I'll start feathering those concepts in as we go. Again, I want to build up from a simple foundation of how, like, the goal of the game, which has never changed. Roll a number, roll it again. That's the goal. So I want her to understand the point of craps, and then we'll talk about the other kind of bets too. So cool. All right, that's it, guys. It's 9 o'clock. Let's get to work. Y'all have a great Wednesday, and I will see you again tomorrow morning. We're gonna do another short stack video. I'm not sure which strategy yet. I'll surprise you with it, but more short stacking tomorrow and the next day, and then we'll start playing with teaching my sister how to play craps. So with that said, everybody, y'all have a great day. Thanks again for tuning in. This is John from ProCraps. I'll see you tomorrow. God bless.